interactions or conversations. So my question was, do men exercise more control over cross-gender conversations? That is a common belief. Now, we are used to criticize that, but not everyone, right? I looked at several research before, such as Black Ops or Zimmerman and West, and they all had a common ground. Yes, language is really connected to gender, though women and men behave differently in speech situations. There was a general view that women had a powerless speech, or they had a lack of assertiveness, in lack of work, or that men were more dominant, right? So after taking a look at those works and actually being able to be a part of it and doing a little research, well, this is what I did. So my research had wanted to approach different classes. In this case, I attended to 2 English classes in Los Andes, where they had a really big difference in terms of age, because I attended to a doctoral class and a English 6 services. But they were supposed to have a really good level of English. They were English 6 and English 3 in the other class, but they don't just have up to English 3. What I wanted to look at was if they had different responses in terms of cross-gender conversations regarding conversational dominance, in terms of interruptions, overlaps, controlling terms, and minimal responses. What are those? So, the overlap is when a speaker starts to speak while another speaker is having control of the conversation. Usually, it helps to finish what the other person is saying, so sometimes that is looked as an accidental error, right? The interruption itself, it's different because that is it's done on purpose when someone is speaking and there's no indication that that person is going to finish what they're saying and someone else jumps in the conversation. Controlling turns, when a participant in a group conversation, in this case what I was taking a look at, decides to lead the conversation and or says who's going to talk in different occasions through questions or just taking a look at them, because eye contact is really important in this kind of behavior. And minimal response, the fourth one, is usually done when you're not interested in the conversation or just to acknowledge what someone is saying. So my method of inquiry basically was attending to those classes. I took notes. In the just 1 or 2 cases I interacted with some of the students, and also in order to specify what I was trying to look for, review different inquiries or researches. So, are you able to see that?
Yeah.
Well, so I was able to take a look at the interactions that those students had. What I did was actually take into account each and one of the interactions I noted and divided them in women or men, and the 4 behaviors I explained to you before, right? So an the one that basically they did like they were supposed to. It seems like they were interrupting each other, but in a sense they acknowledge what someone was saying before, or look at them. Eye contact was really important in that sense. There was a really important issue that I saw on my data, and that was that it is supposed, well, the general belief is that men interact more in women than women to men, right? And that's what I saw in several of the works I look at, and I had that assumption once I entered the classrooms, that I was going to see men taking control of conversations in terms of interruptions or even controlling turns. In a sense, what I look at and that interested me the most was that they interrupted each other in the same amount of times, either on the doctoral class or on the English 6 class. They interrupted each other. Now, it is important to note also that in terms of controlling turns, I noticed a guy that basically he controlled the conversation itself in a group, and but what alarmed me the most was that the other people in the group didn't have that English proficiency that I was talking about. So that made me sometimes not sure if I was acquiring the right information or the right data, because the context influenced a lot their responses or interactions in a sense. And in terms of minimal responses, since they were in the classroom and the context was that they had to work a certain activity and not a coffee conversation or a social reunion, they had to, in a sense, interact with each other, right? So, two of the different approaches that I saw in terms of minimal responses were that, one, either they were not interested at all. So basically, in that case, men, and this is contradictory, right? Because they usually talk more or not connect with the conversation at all. So what I was saying, either they were not interested at all or just didn't have the confidence to do it as well. So my conclusion was that, men did exercise more control in conversations in terms of interrupting women or even themselves, but my assumption men does exercise more control of conversations, controlling turns in terms of turns of speech, but they don't interrupt women. They actually, this research refuted that for me. And cross-gender conversations are really influenced by context. That was a really important point in this.